Hey, it's your girl, She Lush, live in the building. And we're about to go live with the one and only Miss Carr. She is the queen of streams, and she's going to be talking to us about her business. She always believes into multiple streams of income, from creating events to her own cleaning agency and more, and balancing being a parent and also a fellow veteran. And we're going to be talking to her more about everything that she's doing out and impacting her community. She has created jobs for individuals. She's helped people with their brands. And we're going to talk more with her today. We're going to talk to Miss Carr, the queen of streams, today. So we're going to go ahead and go to a quick So this is your girl Lush, aka, and my name is Mo, and we are going to be talking with Miss Carr today, and we're going to be talking about her business and all the things that she does. Hope you're having a wonderful today. And this is about women that are impacting their community. So this is our series here through She Wins Network. If you see it right there, She Wins Network, empowering women through their journey. We're going to be talking with her and many other women this week. We'll have a whole lineup on Friday of women that we're going to be talking to. So stay tuned. You can always check out lushradioonline.net, or you can follow at She Wins on every platform. And we're always talking about how we can add, whether it's to your business, entrepreneurship, being a mother, balancing your life, and talking about your wellness. And that's what we do here on this network here. So we're going to have Miss Carr on here. So just stay tuned. We'll have her on in a few minutes. And also, let's talk a little bit about AI, right? AI is taking over the world. And you got Chat GPT, and a lot of people are, mad. There's a lot of professors, a lot of different people. It's taking over the world. But at the same time, you have pros and cons, right? Remember, AI is always backed by a human being. So it's constantly growing and computing. So if you want to write a book, you can use Chat GPT. If you want to see marketing strategy, posts, hashtags, and different things you need to do, you can always use ChatGPT, but also ChatGPT 4 has also launched. Also, the beta version of Bard that's coming through Google is also launched also. So you just have to determine, or Jasper, determine on what it works best for you and what you can maneuver and making the best of it. Because you can still get all this information for this AI application, but at the same time, how are you going about using it? How are you turning it into revenue and making it work for you? Right? So AI is taking over the world, but you got to make sure that you have a strategy of where you want to go and how to take your business to the next level. Once again, we're waiting for Miss Carr to jump on, and we are going to be doing this interview in a few minutes. So we're just waiting, and we'll have her on in a few minutes. And don't forget to check out. We have a whole nice lineup. We're going to have Dr. Grace live on here. She's going to be talking about her humanitarian work tomorrow. We're also going to have Simona. She's talking about her work on Broadway. We're going to have her on here also. We're also going to have Rachel Allen, who's going to be talking about her holistic work and music practices that she's doing. We're also going to have Lucy. She's going to be talking to us about everything that she's doing with being advocate for veterans and the policies and everything. So, yeah, we're going to have her live on the show in a few minutes, and we're just waiting for her to jump on. And we're going to go ahead and run this real quick, and we'll be right back. So yeah, we're just waiting for Miss Carr to jump on with us. Having some technical difficulties, but that's okay. And also another thing that's been in the news is the whole thing with the TikTok ban. A lot of people the first time. I mean, when it first launched, TikTok. We saw the owner, the CEO, but now due to the fact that Congress is really pushing for TikTok, they're talking about national security. But honestly, if you look at most apps, you're basically being compromised with your where you're at and your personal information and stuff like that. And it's funny because your man is the one pushing behind it, Mr. Zuckerberg. But the thing is, he's already creating a monopoly when it comes to like Facebook, um Facebook and Instagram, WhatsApp, and Oculus. So I mean, he's already created a monopoly, and every time there's another competition that is going up against it, he wants to create a monopoly and buy them out. And so TikTok has made so much money as creative businesses and opportunities for individuals. You're getting real organic engagement. People have become millionaires off of the app. It's providing a real platform for people to connect. Like, I honestly feel more at home with TikTok than I do on some of these other platforms. Instagram's kind of fake, and they're also kind of redirecting the algorithm, so you don't really see all the things you want to see, right? So the thing about it is, just allow TikTok to do what they do, right? And if you do buy into TikTok or TikTok gets banned, they can always, because it used to be Musically, but they can always change it to something else. I mean, we understand that, we owe China so much money, and this could be a political pawn, but at the end of the day, like, let us have freedom of choice. It's helped so many people and entrepreneurs and businesses sell 3 times as more than on Instagram, and there's way more engagement, organic engagement. So, yeah, so we're trying to see if we get Miss Carr on here. But like I said, don't forget to log on to www.lushradioonline.net. You can see all of the amazing things we have going on interviews and stuff. But this is a special segment focused on women because this is a Women's Month. We're always women every single day. So honor the women that are in your lives, show them and let them know that they're appreciated, because sometimes they don't. So let them know they're appreciated and they're loved. And that's what we're doing. And shout out to all the Aries and Pisces, all the March babies. Salute to you. Keep winning, celebrate. My birthday was March 19th, and I'm still continuing celebrating this whole entire year. And don't forget to follow She Wins Network, empowering women through their journey through with everything. Check it out, because we are supporting women, whether it's mentorships, sponsorships, scholarships, different things that we're doing. Mental health is a big thing, especially affecting our society, and that's our big mission, is to making sure that it doesn't matter if you're in business, it doesn't matter if you're just a stay-at-home mother. Your mindset is what matters. Your health and wellness is what matters, because you can't show up for anybody if you don't show up for you. So that is what we do here at She Wins Network. And we're honoring these women today. These are the women of impact. And hopefully we can get Miss Carr live on with us in a few minutes. I know she's dealing with some technical difficulties, but we'll try to get her on. And to the meantime, I was a part of a little short film a while ago during the pandemic, and I was featured on there. So I'm just going to show you guys this real quick, and we'll be back, okay?
Con lo que poder distraerte muchísimo. Es decir, y eso hace que tengas más momentos en los cuales pienses en la otra persona y se echa de menos mucho más que no si estuvieras haciendo muchas cosas y estuviera distraído, ¿no? Y esta sería la peor cosa de... Bueno, lo que peor llevo del confinamiento.
Coronavirus changing our life every single day. Stores are out of groceries. People without masks. People are dying like flies. Today it's our everyday norm. But one day we'll get through this storm. One day there will be hope and there will be change. Total reset. Sometimes they say that life sometimes repeats itself, or history. And it's definitely... So that was a little bit of that. That was a little short documentary for one of my friends that's out in Italy. He's doing a lot of art and some art pieces. So that was the capture. And really look at the pandemic. The pandemic, even though we're still kind of in it, we're in a recession, we're in a housing crisis, all kinds of things are happening. But we are still finding pieces of joy in this chaos, right? And it really showed us that we didn't really need a lot of stuff, right? We were obsessed with having the best of the best. We were obsessed with doing so much and overworking, and we realized we didn't need all the access. We realized the value of the individuals that are in our circle. We valued our lives. We valued the time that we needed with people. And, COVID has changed a lot. We realized that we need to minimize some of this stuff, and our circles have become smaller. So, and that being said, we have the main event, the woman, the phenomenal woman, the amazing woman, the woman, the queen of streams. When we talking about getting money, this lady gets money. You understand what it is? She finds different ways to create brands, and she has a wonderful personality. She's a fellow veteran, a mother, and a wonderful friend to so many. She's helped a lot of people with their brands, and she's changed a lot of people's lives. And through her own obstacles, she was able to create her brand, which is beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and bring the one and only Miss Carr live in the building, a fellow Niger gal in the building. Yay, yay.
Hello.
Oh, the devil's a liar. It was trying.
Yeah, I was going through it. I was like, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me. I am happy to be here finally after going through like 4 devices.
Hey, that's what we do. That's what we do.
We make a way.
Yes, and you did. So I'm happy. I want to just honor you and thank you for showing up today.
Yes, ma'am. Anything for you, boo. I love you.
Oh, I love you too. I love you too. And I love this hair color on you.
Oh yes, extra
yes.
bright
today. I love it. But you always brighten up the day with your smile, with your energy.
I try.
Creativity, for real. So let's talk. So, Miss Carr, you want to give them a quick synopsis, a quick little rundown? I gave them something, but just tell them a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, well, really quick, as she said, I am affectionately known as the Queen of Streams because I have mastered the art of monetizing. You can put it like that. Basically, I have done everything under the sun. Business-wise, it feels like I've went through a lot of industries and I kind of mastered them, as I go. So that is what I am known for, is doing everything and doing it well, right? So, but right now I am doing my cleaning company, Queen's Cleaning. We are a residential cleaning company, cleaning and organizing in the DMV area. And we are a cleaning company that is centered on mental wellness. We are pivoting now into putting more focus into mental wellness and helping people really achieve real happiness through cleans. And then also I'm opening the House of Streams coming in July. That is going to be a marketing and branding and monetizing agency where we help people kind of do what I do and learn how to pivot, be able to offer courses and workshops and events that are centered around learning marketing and branding. And then I also have a Queen's Cocktails, which is my mobile bartending service. And basically what we do there is we basically do spike punches, 9 different flavors of spike punches. When people need them, we set up stations at their parties and we make sure they're good to go. But yeah, that's everything about me right now. But that could change in 6 days because but yeah, that's it.
One thing I tell you, and I don't know if it's our military thing or just the Niger thing. I don't know, but we just it's a mix of all of it. Mix of all of it. But one thing that I could say that is beautiful about my sis is the fact that today she can think of an idea and she can execute and make it work. And she even, a lot of people are scared of risk. In traditional times, they used to make fun of us. They used to say, "Oh, you got too many things or whatever."
Girl, that line they love to use. Jack of all trades is a master. Like, now finish the whole thing. Don't say part of it.
Exactly. But yet we have mastered it. You have mastered these things, and look now, everybody, they're actually selling courses on the hustle, right?
Exactly.
But this is what you've been doing, right?
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
So let's talk about it. So you served in the military, and everything like that. You've done a lot of different things. how was your transition getting out the military, and what made you decide, let me start a business?
Okay, so I started my business while I was in the military. And to be honest, I wasn't even checking for entrepreneurship when I started it, right? So my entrepreneurship journey started when I threw a party for a friend because she didn't have any friends, and I felt bad, because I'm like, oh, borrow mine for a night. So I threw a party, and that party, long story short, launched into an event planning business. And one friend of mine at that time was like, I did one party, I did the video kind of went viral, and everybody's like, oh, when's the next one? I'm like, April, I don't know. So I kind of just ran with it. But basically when I did a video for it, and the video went kind of mini viral, so everyone's asking me like, when is the next one? When is the next event? I'm like, okay, next, April. Next thing you know, that turned into an event planning business, which was Queen Code, right? So I did that while I was in, I think it was like 2017. I got out in 2019. So I did it. And again, I wasn't like, I promise you, I wasn't even looking to be an entrepreneur. My friend was like, you need to make an LLC. I was like, what is that? And I went and I called. I was like, Lil Zoom, can I get an LLC? Whatever this lady told me to get. And she said, yeah, okay. So I went and then fell in love with entrepreneurship. And so I got out, and I honestly didn't even plan to be a full-time entrepreneur when I got out. When I got out, I was, planning to do the traditional track where I was going to go get a job, blah, 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 because I wanted to get out, because when I was a single parent, and we all know the military is not single parent friendly, and two, like my biggest aspiration at that point was just having a cubicle. And I was like, I want a cubicle because I worked everywhere. I was working the flight line, all these different things. I said, I just want to have a cubicle and be a normal person. So guess what? I got that. And when I got the cubicle, I was like, oh, I felt like the walls were caving in, but it gave me time to think. And I was like, I don't like this, right? So I started doing research, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I decided, it was two reasons. One, I was a single parent and it was really hard. And two, I realized I do not fit in here. I never will. And I need to go, right? So then on top of that, they were trying to send me to Alabama, and I love the DMV, and I was like, I really don't want to leave. So I got out and I declined the assignment. We all know when you decline the assignment, you can't re-enlist. So they were like, you do know this is going to make you have to get out. I'm like, that's kind of the plan, right? So I got out. I went to a first interview. And in that interview, they asked me that $1 million question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And in my mind, I'm like, not here. But I knew I couldn't say that, right? So I realized that I was leaving one cage to another, right? For me. I like to emphasize for me, because I don't think, And so I ran out the interview crying right then and there. And I went to the car, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I called my best friend at the time. And I said, I can't do this. And she said the words I'll never forget. She said, then don't. And I'm like, well, what else would I do? She was like, do the business thing, I guess. And she was just like casual. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that. So at that moment, I became a full-time entrepreneur. Next year will be my 4-year mark of doing it full-time.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. And so here I am.
in all your glory and wonderfulness.
Yes, and the extraness. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Well,
and I
mean, hey, you can't help it. It's in your blood. You African, so you
exactly. It makes sense. It does. I was like, why is this so easy for me? That's why.
Exactly. And so, so you have, you've helped people with branding. I think through all of the stuff that you've done there, because sometimes, when you get through doing your own entrepreneur, you see all the pits and falls, and trying to help people not go through that struggle with your branding. So you've created branding, networking events, and different things to help people grow their business, and also to engage, because there's a lot of introverts out here in the DMV.
There are.
And talk to us a little bit about that.
Okay, so it goes back to like when I said the first event that I did was for a friend. She was an introvert, and then that helped me realize, because when I did that event and I did all my other events, I'm like, there are a lot of people who are introverted who feel alienated in this area, because let's be real, this area is a lot, right? Yeah. So then I'm an ambivert. I could do either, right? I like to spend most of the time by myself, but I could also get out there when necessary. So I felt, I kind of empathize with them, like, yo, like, I know that's hard, so I centered all my events like publicly around introverts, but then I realized how hard it is in business for people to have a brand and not be able to communicate their brand and not have the confidence to do what they want to do, or people just being scared, right? So I call myself the poster child of just not caring and just going for it. Because when I left the military, I had no money, no nothing. I just said, you know what? I don't want to do this. And here we are, 4 years, even through a pandemic, I'm still here, right? And so I try to live my life to help people, but now I have made it an effort to be more intentional with it. I've helped, like, I want to say 12 or so people, start their businesses that were introverts that felt like they couldn't do it or whatever. I helped them start their businesses. And this was before I decided to pursue it, professionally. And I just like, I have a natural knack for branding. Like if I give something a name, it'll stick. Being on my social media, yeah. I posted one Michael Jackson meme and now I have a whole brand for my social media page. So I'm like a natural at it. So I am doing I did a branding workshop. I plan on doing those more recurring. Also helping people with marketing and life coaching to help them be more confident about their brand. I've helped them, on and off the clock with that. People call me all the time saying, look, I got this brand and I want to get out there, but I'm scared. And I'm like, I basically tear everything down to the barest minimum. And I say, okay, now that we take away all this imaginary stuff in your head, what are you left with? And I give them those steps to be able to not see it as such a big thing and be able to pursue whatever it is that's in their mind. So yeah, definitely. I have those programs and I have a lot more coming up starting in July.
Definitely. I mean, she's a connector and navigator. Even during the pandemic, this queen was out here. She done made the whole hookah brand. She created graphic design, everything. I mean, one-stop shop. You hear me? Everything you could think of. She was thriving through the pandemic, and not a lot of people knew how to pivot, but you were able to pivot. Anytime there's a situation, you're able to move quick, think fast, and pivot, especially in our society right now. We never know what skill is going to be able to be used during different situations.
Absolutely. And a lot of times people don't really think, outside the box when it comes to that. But when COVID hit, everybody had to do it.
Yes.
And so that's why I birthed a lot of business owners, because they realized that, because like we said, when you're doing a lot at first, people like, you're doing too much. What are you doing? But you better believe when COVID hit, those same people were in my inbox talking about, so what should I do? I'm like, oh, now it's not a bad idea. So, I was doing random stuff. Like,
yes,
I created a whole situation where I was returning people's Amazon packages in COVID. Like, I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, because I had just started a hookah brand in 2 months prior to COVID.
Yes.
And COVID hit and I'm like, okay, what can I do now? So I was taking people's Amazon packages. I was doing that and slinging drinks just everywhere, because I'm like, there's a need, fill it.
Exactly.
So that's all as far as it goes for me. And I just wish more people would do that. That's why with the House of Streams that I'm launching, it's mind, marketing, and money. And the money part is monetizing, where people need that kind of help, that I can come in and say, okay, well, I have a gift that I can give you one thing and give you 20 different ways to make money off that one thing. And that's what I plan to do for other people, because I understand people don't always have that skill.
Definitely. And what made you, because I know wellness is a big thing for you, even for your personals, for your personal life, even with your daughter. One thing I do love, the connection you have with your daughter and how you expose her to different things and give her an opportunity. Like, she's doing martial arts, like baby girl doing her thing.
Yeah, she has a job at 14
yes.
doing martial arts. She's a black belt. Absolutely.
Yes to her. I mean, how is that balance with business and motherhood?
Well, for a while there, I'm not going to lie, I was not existent, because I was in survival mode, especially when COVID hit and the pandemic, and everything was just a lot, between not trying to get sick plus trying to make money. Because I was like, okay, you're probably going to have to get a job. But I was like, I'm too deep in the trenches now. I don't want to go do it. So it was not existent for a while. But now I found balance. Yay me, because it was really hard. So the biggest thing for me is scheduling. Scheduling is key. I schedule everything. If you want to talk to me on the phone, no problem. Let's put it in the calendar. If you want to do this, problem, they'll put it in the calendar. But guess who else is on my calendar? My daughter. Another thing that I'm known for is Serenity Sundays. Her name is Serenity. And every Sunday, that's her day. Whatever she wants to do, doesn't matter how tired I am, what I got going on. If I'm available, we do something. I also schedule her 30-minute mommy sessions a day, where she can have at least 30 minutes of uninterrupted time with me. So the biggest thing has just been scheduling, because I'm like, you schedule everything else, why is family not a priority? You know what I mean? And so that's been the biggest thing. And also keeping her busy so she can do her thing, right? And she can have space to have her own thing outside of just staring at me every time. So
definitely. I think that's a good thing, a good example, especially for a lot of moms out here, trying to find that balance, because a lot of us, especially when we transition from the military, we're in survival mode.
exactly.
It's and trying to, because most of it is like the mission versus family.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people are finding and prioritizing that, which I love, how you found that for yourself. But the cleaning business, and let's talking about that, because I found a lot of people, especially clients that I deal with when we're dealing with mental health, a lot of people who have dealt with like trauma and different things or homelessness end up, borderline hoarders.
Yes.
Or you have issues where, sometimes the way your space is where your mind is, the chaos and stuff.
Absolutely.
And you see a lot of that. But when you have that clear space, oh my God, it's like washing your clothes and smelling that fresh pair of clothes. And so talk to us on like that, because you are changing lives with this cleaning business.
Yes, I am. And it's, what the crazy part is, when I entered the cleaning, again, the cleaning was something I did out of desperation, where when COVID hit, I was okay, I need to make some money. I literally got on Facebook and I said, hey, y'all, it's me again. I need some money. I said, let's whatever you got to do that's going to make me money that is legal and safe. And somebody mentioned cleaning their house. And I said, ugh, okay. Reluctantly, right? So I did it. I posted a picture and I was joking. I said, LOL, Queen's Cleaning coming soon. And everyone is like, word. I'm like, no. It's just a joke.
Turned out to be real.
Right. And then so one house led to another house, and then it blew up. But the main reason why it blew up was not because of people just needing a lot of houses clean. It blew up and it stuck with me because I realized, like, wait, people really need this. This is a need deeper than what I realized at the time. At the first part of it, I'm just thinking like, oh, I can save these people time, but then when I did, like you said, a hoarder house and people that deal with depression, there's been even sessions where people will book me where, like, if their house is in these organization, they will book me just to talk them through it, to do it on their own. Or we'll have, one time I had a girl, she hired me and I talked her through it and figured out, we got down to the bare minimum of why it happened in the first place. What limiting beliefs or thoughts in your mind led to this mess? That's why people get so scared that I judge. I'm like, I don't judge, because I've spent some time researching how mess happens. Right? Mess usually happens. It's rarely because you just don't care. It's usually because I always tell people to check their lens, because usually you're looking at the lens from, oh my God, I failed. I'm such a failure. I messed up, blah, 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 to the point where you paralyze yourself and you don't want to do it. So that's why we come in and we say, actually, you just got to pick these shoes up off the floor. And then we give them what I call the clarity of clean. And then once they have that, and I'm like, that's why on my site, it says granting you a fresh start, because now you have a fresh start. It's easy to maintain something clean. I've had people, like, when we get done, they're crying. I've had people cry. I've had people hug me. Like, even when we have like some cleans, there's some houses that we do where the kids, there was a little girl once that we had, she was 13. She tried to commit suicide. And so while she was in the crisis hospital, we cleaned her room and we wrote affirmations on her wall, and we gave them, a sage kit to get the bad energies out. Like, we're more than just a cleaning company. Like, we actually care. And then, since then, we still do her house and we still write those affirmations on her wall and make sure that they're mentally good, because it's very, very important. And people don't realize it until they get the experience and they're like, oh, you know what? This actually helps me. Yes, ma'am. It's important. It's way more important than I thought it was when I first started it, but now I fell in love with it. So that's why I'm pivoting the business to focus entirely on mental wellness.
Nah, you are saving. That's why I said you are saving people's lives. Like, I remember I had a veteran and stuff, and they they ended up going through depression, and the house was a mess, and we cleaned the house up. And just, that takes so much weight, because sometimes you feel like nobody's there. It could be a death in the family. Absolutely. You can have seasonal depression. Absolutely. Some old ideologies are creeping up. And it starts with one thing, you don't start noticing, and you're really busy, and then it becomes overwhelming. And then the depression starts. And where do I start from? Yep. Yes. So like I said, you're saving people's lives. And I think, honestly, with your business coupled with other like mental health stuff,
yes,
I think it's powerful. I see this thing going global because this is huge.
It's a big deal. And so people always say, like, I only have a handful of people who work for me, and I'm very, very particular about who works for me, right? And so a lot of times people are like, oh, you can just go to a staffing agency. I said no, because we don't provide a cleaning service. We provide a cleaning experience. And with anybody who works with me, you have to. There's no way I'm walking in, because I look at people's homes as a sacred space. There is no way I'm walking into your sacred space and don't want to speak to you, or I'm walking into your sacred space and not 100% respecting everything that you have. Like, every recurring customer that we have, we're family. You know, we walk in their house, oh, hey, girl, how the kids come and hug us. And I need people on my team that are, I was like, I don't care if I got to clean these houses myself. I don't care. Whoever is on my team needs to understand that and embody that in everything that they do. And that's my problem, is because they're like, oh, you can scale. I say, yeah, but I need the right people. And I have been blessed so far to have amazing people. Even the people who are, you know, are going now, they have been absolutely amazing, because they actually care about the people, not just the house. Like, we actually care. We get them birthday gifts, graduation gifts. My client just had a baby. We brought her onesies and bought her diapers. I was like, we're not just, you know, that's why I call us a boutique service, because I'm not just coming to your house and cleaning and leave. No, we're friends now. His birthday, they come and vent to us. Like, we have people that call us crying, saying, I'm drowning, right? I need help, right? And so we say, okay, and we do what we got to do, and we help them out. And it's a beautiful thing. And that's why I say, like, it's going to be something bigger, you know, but people just have to catch on. But I'm good with that, because everybody we have, they understand what the assignment is with it.
No, it's just seeing, even like, you know, the TikToks, you even find there's a bit of like wholeness and warmness when I see you cleaning and I see your staff cleaning, and I just feel the love through the screen. So like I said, make sure you check it out. It's an amazing service, and it's an experience. So like, make sure that you're checking it out. Now, so you launched the site not too long ago. It's beautiful. It's colorful. It got all the colors I love on it. and it because a lot of people, you know, in society want to pick and choose the different parts of them that they want to show. In this site that you created, it encompasses all of you. There's so many layers to you and so many aspects and things that you offer. I love this new site because it definitely speaks to who you are.
Yes.
So can you tell us the whole thought process behind launching your new site?
Yeah, so the thought process is, one, I've done a lot, right? I've done some things, and one thing people know, that if I'm not feeling something, I have no problem openly and transparently walking away, right? So a lot of times people can't keep up with what I'm actually doing, what I'm not doing. And what people don't understand is that, you know, I don't leave anything because it's failing. I leave it because it's successful, and that's not what my success wanted to look like. So I move on to the next. So I'm like, okay, this is what I'm doing, y'all. So first and foremost, it was to let people know what I'm doing. And secondly, because I am the queen of streams, a lot of people don't understand what that means. So I wanted to have something that they can look and instantly know, like, who I am, who I stand for, because I have made an agreement with myself that no matter what I do, I refuse to dilute myself for anything or anyone, right? So people need to know up front, before they even try to deal with me, who they're dealing with. There's always going to be this hair. It's all, whatever color it is, it's always going to be that. How I am now is how I'm always going to be. If you can't accept this, you can't accept me, right? That's professionally and personally. So I wanted something, when I told her when I make it, I said, I want it loud and bright, just like me. So she nailed that, as you saw.
Yes,
So
I love it.
I wanted to have everything that I do so people can instantly go through and realize who I am. So it releases all confusion. So they know exactly who they're hiring for marketing. They know exactly who they're dealing with for cleaning. They know exactly how everything goes. And then if they want to book me for motivational speaking or whatever, they know the type of message that they're going to get. You're not going to get the traditional message. You're going to get the me message, right? And I wanted them to be able to see that in the site. So she did an amazing job. Our Addicts Visual Communication, by the way, on my site. But basically, I just wanted to be able to have that QR code on my site, on my business card. And if someone wanted to know anything about me, all I got to do is just hand it over, and boom, you got it. And to understand, you know, that it is possible that you can do more than one thing and be successful. Because a lot of people say you got to nail down one thing. No, you can do it your way. And that's my whole premise behind my brand as a person.
No, you're right. Even Warren Buffett said you have to have multiple streams of income. Like,
Exactly.
come on now, like, now in the traditional way, that's what they said. I remember when I was down in Georgetown, they were like, "Oh, da da da, you can't." And I just looked at them. I said, "I see you. I'll see you when time."
Exactly. Exactly. Like I said, when COVID hit,
Yeah.
everybody wanted some advice. Oh, I want to pivot. How do I do this? I'm like, oh, okay. Now you care about what I'm doing. Okay. And I'm
Exactly.
not mad at it. I'm glad that, as I call it, the great pause help people think
Yes.
about that and realize that a lot of times the job that you're at, yes, it's great if you have it, but always have something as a backup plan. Because
Exactly.
you never know what's going to happen. Or if you're multi-passionate like me, I'm talented. I realize that. So I can do almost anything. So why not try to do the things that bring me joy? So cleaning brings me joy, helping people's brands brings me joy, and making people occasionally drunk brings me joy. So and there you go.
Definitely. So another question is, dealing with entrepreneurship and just in life, as a woman of color in business, what do you feel is one of the hardest adversities you've dealt with?
As a woman, people taking you seriously. The biggest thing when I was doing the hookah business, we had a lot of that because, as you know, that's a male-dominated industry. So I remember very vividly plenty of times we would go to the warehouse to get supplies and people wouldn't even greet us. They wouldn't say anything because they're like, they would always, every time, no matter how many times I went in there, they would say, hey, you do know this is for business owners. And I'm like, I know, here's my card, leave me alone, right? But it wasn't until we put thousands of dollars into the cart where they're like, oh, okay. I said, oh, okay. So that's what I got to do just to get the minimal respect. And dealing with venues, people try to mansplain and try to, tell you how to do things, even if you didn't ask. People always assume, like even with the coaching and stuff, me talking to people, they're like, because this is my first time coming out, officially. People just knew I did it. But they're like, oh, what are your qualifications? I have an MBA and a bachelor's and with a concentration in marketing. I know what I'm talking about. You always have to prove yourself. You always have to say, okay, and you always have to walk in like just being extra official just to get the minimum consideration. So I tell people that it's very important to know who you are. Not only know who you are, but understand with the value that you bring and that you're an asset to whatever room you walk into. And even if you don't feel like you are the smartest in the room, you better act like it. I always say you got to walk in with the audacity of Bob. Walk in with the audacity of a middle-aged white man in that room every single time, whether you know what you're talking about or not. Because guess what? If you know at least one more thing that they don't know, you got the edge up. And you have to not, because if you shrink, they'll feel it and they will act accordingly. So you always got to understand who you are and do a lot of research into who you are and what you bring. And that's what I want to help people do too with House of Streams, is really do a value assessment of who you are and the gifts that you bring and how you are impacting the world through being you and by running your business. Get very, very real with that, because people are going to test you. People are going to doubt you. People are going to tell you things, telling you what you can and can't do, what your parameters of your life are. And you got to be able to rebuttal quick and very educated to be able to defend yourself. Should you have to do it? Absolutely not. Are you going to have to do it? Absolutely so. And that's just the way the world is. And at this point in my life, I don't even get mad at it. I look at it. So don't look at it as a challenge. Look at it as an opportunity to flex. When you get really, really sure about who you are and what you do, when someone challenges you, it's not a challenge anymore. I'm ready to flex. Now let me let you know why I know this, how I know this, how long I've known this, and why you should know this, and why you should hire me for more information. That's kind of what it is. Because
come on through
with that, right? This marketing thing, even though I did it on the side, because I would do it on the side because I'm like, if it's free, they won't feel so bad, if it's wrong, But then I realized that was me, arguing my limitations with myself. And I'm like, your stuff. You have a whole degree in this. You read marketing books for fun. What you mean you can't do this? And even for me. So now in the 2023 me, I'm shooting all professional and entrepreneurial shots to give myself the opportunity to really show what I know, because I let people's, words get to me. And I want every woman of color, of anything, woman, honestly, just to realize that you bring an asset to this world, whether you are confident or not, the asset is going to be there. You might as well get real about it and put some respect on your name and let them know. That's what I always tell people, let them know quick, let them know fast, because they will test you.
Woo, that was a word. Come on, in that order. In that order. Yes, girl.
True, girl, because
Yes.
I swear I've dealt, especially doing events, hookah, anything. I've always had some man telling me what I can and cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
And without even knowing me. And, you know, especially with the hair and stuff like that,
Yeah,
people make their judgments and think, oh, she's just trying to play a role. No, I actually know what I'm talking about. And then on
exactly.
top of that, you got to know something if you survive as a full-time entrepreneur for
Exactly.
4 years through a pandemic. And on top of that, you got a child that you're raising by yourself.
Come on.
And on top of that, I was doing other things too. So it's like people, you gotta I always say you gotta make them a believer every time.
Exactly. And I'm a believer because I've seen it and I've watched it. And I've seen how you change lives. I see how you have a growth mindset, how you change and diversify yourself with your streams.
Yeah.
Now you show up for everybody.
Mhm.
Everybody and their mama.
Yeah.
And sometimes, as entrepreneurs, sometimes, we put a lot of pressures on ourselves, and sometimes we get through that burnout stage and then we have to regroup and stuff. And I always ask, mental wellness for you, how much does that play in your life? And then what are some of the things that you do? I know you go to the water, but tell me some of the things you do.
Okay. So burnout, yes. Been there, done that. I had a period in 2021. Basically, all of 2021, I fought burnout because, again, you had the pandemic and I was hustling. Like, when I say I was slanging drinks, I was slanging them things everywhere because I was just frantically trying to make it. I mean, it was a period in time where I was driving from Fairfax, Virginia to Baltimore and back.
Wow.
Right, in a day, right? This is me just
Wow.
zipping through. And I was doing, and then I had a moment where I was carrying a bunch of drinks and I fell on the stair, like I tripped on the stair, and all the drinks just, right? 50, 60, 70 of them dispelled. And I sat there and I said, this is not okay. Like, money is great, but my mind is forever. So I made a commitment at that moment to prioritize my mind. So that's when I went and did an assessment of everything that I was doing. And I divorced hustle mindset, because at first I was all about hustling. I sleep when I'm dead, all this other stuff, all these toxic beliefs that society would tell you that you have to be successful, and say, oh, a good entrepreneur is up at 4 and we're working till 4 a.m. And I was like, yeah, you got to do it. And then when that drink hit me in my face that day, I said, nope. I'm not doing this anymore. This can't be life. Couldn't remember the last time I saw my child. I'm like, oh no. I said, look, I'm not going to ignore it. So at that point, I started thinking and I started evaluating, and I said, you know what? What's not for me? It has to go. So there was a period in time where I just decided that day, and then carried on. That's when I really started to really put my mental wellness as priority in my mind. So at that point, I let go of a lot of stuff. I ended up leaving, my now ex and stuff like that, because I'm like, my mental health needs to go. And even when we broke up and he asked, well, why are you leaving? I said, because my healthy self wouldn't choose you. And I need to get to her. So I'm thinking ahead, and I'm choosing her first. And if you're meant to be there, you'll be there, And at that point, I started doing I read a lot into mental wellness. I read a lot of books. I watch a lot of YouTube, and music is my number one love. I have a playlist for every mood. Like, I have a calm down playlist. I have an amp up playlist. I have a, just vibe. Like, when I clean, I'm listening to meditation music. It's a ritual for me. That's why people are like, oh my God, I'm so worried about the mess. I said, girl, move out the way so I can just clean and get my meditation music. I'm not worried about what you got going on. You know what I mean? I meditate with my clean. Cleaning is therapy for me, because to see something go from dirty to clean, and I look back and I'm just like, yeah, girl, you did. That's therapeutic for me. As you know, I love being outdoors. I do groundwork a lot, grounding work a lot. I stand, I've turned into a hippie now, where I stand in the dirt barefoot and I just let the sun take over. I spend a lot of time outside. So outside is my biggest source of sun. Even if I'm just sitting on my patio, I keep all my windows open. I have to have sun. Another thing that I do is I spend a lot of time in the dark too, where it's like I have made it a mission to make my mind my safest place to be, right? So the best way to do that is to cut off all distractions. And I do that. I also I do a lot to keep my mental wellness up. I do journaling. I do a lot of work, spiritually to try to stay grounded with myself. I do a lot of research in myself so I can realize how to get ahead of the issues before they come. If I have severe depression and severe anxiety, and I also have PTSD. So when I did that, and ADHD, so I had to learn all those things. So when I feel an episode coming, I now know how to get in front of it. And I have rituals like that I do. Like, okay, you're feeling this way, turn on this playlist, do this, and now we're good. We're back level again. So I just did a lot of research into myself, learning myself, really learning myself, running my triggers. If I'm feeling away, where did that come from? Like, no, for real, where did it come from? Did it come from your childhood? And most of all, therapy.
Yes.
Therapy is big. So it helps when you do the research on your own, because then you could go into the therapist and say, I realized through, looking into myself that I have an issue with starting this business because I feel like I was not acknowledged enough as a child by my mother, and this. When you go into the therapist with that kind of MO, then it's straight shooting from there and on. So people think that, I just wait for the therapist to figure it out. No, you figure it out first as much as you can and let them guide you to the finish line. And that has helped me a lot. So now I'm totally in a different mental place. And I understand myself. I understand my values. I understand what I need to grow, to function. What are my non-negotiables in life? Like, understanding those things is so important.
I am so proud of you, sis. I am so proud of you.
Thank you. It's been a ride.
It is a ride. I mean, as we ascend, as we change, because the old version of ourselves accepted certain things, right? Mm-hmm. Our boundaries were different, but when the new healed version of yourself, you see a lot of things.
A lot.
You won't accept certain things in this new version. And I'm so proud of you, because it's a lot. It's hard for people to let go, especially with our attachments to different things, places and things and individuals. So, this space, is very important, especially as entrepreneurs. A lot of people say, the reason why they're failing is because, not enough. A lot of it is the mindset. Where is your mind? If you heal the mind of the entrepreneur, then they're able to thrive no matter what situation comes their way.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I really wish more people truly understood that, to be honest, because a lot of times we focus on logistics and we focus on, how do you scale your business? What do you need to do? But what I've realized in this journey and talking to people, especially people who are neurodivergents like me, I just consulted with somebody yesterday. She has ADHD like me. And she's like, why can't I do this? I said, because you are expecting to get up tomorrow and be whoever it is that you saw on social media tomorrow by 12 o'clock at noon. And that's not you. That never will be you. And it's not that you're any less. You just walk a different path. Like, you have a different mind. You have different fuel for your engine. And I always say, a lot of times, like, I heard a scenario that has stuck with me, that a lot of times when our car is not going, our knee-jerk reaction is to press the gas, and we really need to be checking under the hood and figuring out why the car is going. You think the car is low on gas, but in reality, your alternator has been broken for the last 6 months. Go fix your alternator, and then maybe the car will start then. But we don't do that. We always figure there's something I should do. There's something, if I could just check this off my list, if I could just get this extra thing in life. But the real key is being content where you are. Being content where you are and taking the baby steps to get where you are instead where you need to go, versus just thinking I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and I'm gonna be Michelle Obama, or I'm gonna be all these different people. No, be you. Understand what your triggers are, understand what your skills are, maximize that, and take everything and baby step it. So now one thing has been really big on my mental wellness is learning the art of baby stepping. Understanding that, like, even with my gym, I'm like, I wanted to get up and lose 30 pounds. No, that doesn't work for me. You tell me, the ADHD, chronic person, scared of failure person, you got to lose 30 pounds. That's scary. I'm like, dang, that's a lot. But when I break it down and say, how about we change the narrative and we say, okay, well, I just want to choose to be fit every day. That's easier. So let's do that. And then over a while, your action will become a habit, your habit will become a pattern, and your pattern will become a lifestyle. Then you just stack them and keep going. And that's what my mission is, helping people understand that, because it's helped me a lot.
Definitely. Yo, you are awesome, a phenomenal person. And I'm just grateful for the work that you're doing. And you're creating jobs, you're creating, opportunities for individuals. And also inspiring people in the future, also setting a great example for your baby girl, even though she ain't a baby girl and she growing, she sometimes you look at him like I had this baby.
I don't know who that grown little girl is.
Yeah.
I have to,
Yeah.
because everything I do is for her, because
Yes.
she's autistic, so
Yes.
she's not going to have the same opportunities I had, so I'm trying to set the stage where she can do whatever she wants, and she has that wiggle room where she can say, I don't want to do any of this, I'm gonna just go send my mama money. Well, go do it, baby girl, go do it.
but you're doing an excellent job. I always ask everybody that joins us, the women, if you could write a letter or say a couple of things to the old version of you, the little version of you, what would you say to her?
I would say, one, there is nothing to be afraid of, and there's nothing you can't do. And two, everything that they're telling you is a lie. Everything that you are telling yourself is a lie. And three, just keep your options open. And there is no such thing as failure at all. There's only, and then the biggest thing that I'll tell her is the one thing that I tell myself every single day now, that the universe is working in your favor always. There are no losses. It's only wins. So don't be afraid to step out there and do what you want to do, and not be afraid of being yourself, because who you are is not only enough, but who you are can change lives. And that's one thing I wish I would have known years ago, because I would probably be in a totally different situation now. But I'm also happy where I'm at. So
well, we're happy that you're here with us, and we appreciate you. For people who want to check you out and see more things about what you're doing, give them your social media and the new wonderful website.
Yeah, so my website is my name, Nne-Nna.Carr, NNENNACARR.com. You can get all my socials off of that, but if you want to know right now, my Instagram is The Queen of Streams. Queen is KWEEN of Streams. My Facebook is my name, but I also have the Queen of Streams Facebook that I'm building, so you'll be able to go there too. But I try to keep everything public on my page until that happens. But yeah, that's the way you can find me. But anything else that you need as far as all my business, like I said, that's all on NNACarr.com. If you want to book me for speaking, if you want to do the marketing, if you want to do cleaning, drinks, all of it's there.
Definitely. So make sure you support Nne-Nna with everything that she has going on. And remember, in other communities, the dollar circulates a lot of times. We have to support our small business entrepreneurs, women owned, and just make sure support. Sometimes support doesn't always have to be financial. Sometimes it's just posting a flyer or sharing it or spreading the word. So more support, more love, and life may throw you a curveball, but you're in charge of the direction it goes.
Absolutely.
I'm so proud of you, and there's more to come. We can only go all the way up. And don't forget that so tomorrow we will be having a long list of young ladies live on the show talking about their impact in the community. And like I said, this is someone that has changed the lives of many, and showed you that if you believe it, if you think it, it shall be done. And she has done it. Okay, there's nothing you can't do. A lot of the things that we said that were, they're not the orthodox norm, has become the norm now.
Yeah.
So there's no crazy ideas. Believe it, you can do it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Sorry about my technical difficulties.
No, you know what? The devil is a liar. They can't stop no show.
Girl, I was about to log on to something. I said my phone don't work, I'm gonna do my iPad. Something
Definitely make sure you follow us at She Wins Network, empowering women through their journey. Also, www.lushradioonline.net. Also, you a podcaster too. Come on now. Tell them about your show before we head out.
It's another person's show. It's the Miss O show. We're on a break right now. When we come back, it'll be Mondays at 8 o'clock.
Definitely,
on the Radio Network.
It's very intriguing. Check out the show. It's really, really good.
Yeah, you can see segments, because I have a segment on there. That's on my website too, so you can check all that on there.
Definitely. So you already know what it is. Love, peace, and chicken grease. But don't eat a whole bunch of grease, though. Okay, stay healthy.